I fucked that all up yesterday. Well, I'm glad to have in studio with me today. How you doing? I'm shaking his hand right now. That doesn't count. I have the winner of season 2 Ink Master, Steve Tefft, with me. Dear friend from the Wayback Club at this point, really.
Oh, the OGs, bro. The OGs.
Yeah. I mean, Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
Dude, miss that place. Miss it.
That's my topic number 1, actually, that I was like, I completely missed yesterday. We've already done this. I talk to my friends wrong too often. You know what I mean? When I have them on my show, people that I know as well as you, and we go back like we do, I don't make it interesting for the viewers. It's just fun for me.
I just think we got so much to talk about through the years that I think we go off topic 6,000 times. So, yeah. I mean,
perfect for my podcast, straight to the point, completely off topic.
Right. Like, it's funny that you and I go way back. We both, got on Ink Master, and obviously my experience was way different than yours.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah,
I'm a 2-time loser, man.
Well, the thing is, I try
still
to tell
gritting
people,
my teeth.
Mm-hmm. Now you probably everybody knows one thing. I go, listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I never expected to win the show. I said a lot of luck has to fall your way. You're not going to do 13 to 15 great tattoos. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, and unfortunately, and I've had this happen on like season 10 when I was a coach. Man, if you're in your head and they get in your head, you just can't perform. You just can't. Yep. And that happened to me on season 10, man. I was just like, what?
Did the judges themselves got in your head?
Yeah, one time Nunez called me out for like not having not either trying or something. And and I said, listen, man, don't ever call me out for that. Don't ever call me if I'm not trying. I might have ideas that don't work. Or I didn't maybe perform as good as I should, but I go, I'm not fucking here to play around. This is my career. We all take this, especially like guys like you and I have been in the business forever. We take this shit really seriously.
Tend to. So, I try to take it less seriously now.
Well, I'm talking about when you're putting your ass on the line on a TV show. You're there to win, or you're not there. You're not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? But
they put a microscope on you, and you feel like you're being dissected.
You basically are. And what a lot of people on the show don't realize, you're all living together. You're sharing showers. People got a lot of shit going on at home. The stress is through the fucking roof. Like, people do not understand. Like all these armchair quarterbacks, I'm sure you got this too, where, I could have done that better. I'm like, yeah, if you're home in your studio and you got all day to think about it, and you're doing it tomorrow.
Yep.
And you got a choice of not taking shit. I said, but on a TV show, you got to take it. And the one thing I learned what they did with Clint, God rest his soul.
God bless him.
When they find something that bothers you, they'll just keep digging. If they get under your skin, they're going to keep coming.
I believe you wanted to tell me something like that because you came to filming and you didn't come on set. I think you just went and seen Navarro and them.
Yeah.
Was that for season 4 or was that for season 3?
That was for season 3.
Okay.
You were in what, season 4?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Yeah, like I've actually reached out to a couple of people I know is going on the show. And like, yo, give me a call. That way I can get you mentally prepared for what the fuck is up.
Because I should have called you about that prior. We may have talked about. I called you the day before my video too. Do you recall that?
Yes, absolutely.
I was in Chicago. It was my second time trying out. First off, I should ask you about because actually you've got a pretty great story for it too. About how you even got cash. You weren't going to go. You were going to go. Went out there, drank the night before. Wasn't going to go. What happened?
Oh my god! Yeah, I was there to impress the girl. I wasn't there to. I didn't want to try. Like, I'll try out for the show. Blah blah blah. The next day, I went to bed. We started drinking. We went to bed at 6 a.m. Casting calls at 9. I think 10 o'clock in the morning. So I think they either helped me. Either I was still drunk or I was hungover. But I went in there pretty smooth and blah blah blah. But you did good. I remember looking through your book, and I didn't think you brought your best stuff.
You,
I
you had
did it.
some of your best shit.
I
But
did
it was
it.
like
I
you were just
threw
throwing it together.
I threw it together, and in a way, it helped me because I get on the show. I didn't know who Jesse Smith was and all these people. I'm like, I was no cock chaser. I don't know who these guys are. And then, me and Clint hit it off instantly because we were sleeping in the same room.
Well, had you and Clint known each other prior? Or
No,
not?
I had no idea.
Okay.
All I saw was we go there and there's a midget and a fucking, tattoo baby's got her boobs hanging out. And and you got this MMA fighter and this skinny little fucker with a big mouth and a 6
Mark
foot
Matthews, Mike,
Mark
tattoo
Matthews.
baby.
Yeah, tattoo baby.
K Cutter.
K Cutter, but he looked kind of normal. And then you got, and then you had this skinny dude with a big mouth and a fucking 6 foot tall mohawk. I'm like, who is this fucking guy? And I just like the way he carried himself, and we instantly hit it off. And then the funny part was the first episode, I tattooed across from K Cutter.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him were boys. Me and him hit it off. We were drinkers in the house.
Okay.
So me and him were like kind of talking a lot. And then, back at the house we're drinking and we're kind of feeling everything out. The first thing.
Well, Clint will drink a bit too. Am I wrong?
A little bit. He wasn't really drinking like that though.
Okay.
Like I'm talking, I was drinking. Stevie.
I've seen you in your prime.
Yeah, like I don't know how I lived. Like that was bad. So me and Kay Cutter would sit up at night, drink vodka, and we were sponsored by Rockstar at the time, and drink Rockstar, and we were hitting it off. And then I won the first episode, which is very weird because in the very first episode they never declared a winner. If you watch the series,
how did you win the first episode then?
I did win it for some reason. They said, Steve, you won this. You got the best tattoo of the day. But I don't know why they never put that on the very first episode. But every episode after that, they did. It was very strange. Even watching it back, I'm like, they never declared it. But anyway, so here I am thinking, all right, don't step on toes. You get there, it's kind of weird. You're not trying to be a dick to anybody. You're kind of like trying to feel what's going on. You're on TV. Yeah. You're very conscious of like things you say and things you do.
Picking your nose.
Yeah. And then the second episode, fucking Kate Cover came right at me with this like impossible fucking cover up. And I'm like, you motherfucker. I thought we was boys. And he goes, I'm just here to play the game. I said, well, you fucking the wrong guy, bro. And ever since then, all I know is this. I thanked him for making my career because I was sitting back being quiet. And then he came at me and, old school us, you come at us, you're going to catch some shit. And then
that's something that interests me a lot is how sometimes somebody's hate or energy they give you can actually be your fuel, right?
Yeah. So I was like, listen, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but I ain't going to take shit from this dude. So he kind of got me out of my shell, and me and him started just, feuded.
Yeah.
And then
you're
after
drinking,
that,
buddy.
Yeah, right. My boy,
Did you guys still drink or not?
We drank, but I was like, yo, fucker, you know what I mean? And then he just started irritating everybody in the house because, he was smart. He's trying to make TV because his tattooing wasn't good enough to stay. But I wasn't realize that, we don't realize that TV shit at the time. I was just like, yeah, fuck this guy. Like he's talking to me like this.
Right. And his stuff isn't as good enough to stay. It's part of the thought you have. He was the bottom. He was a bottom feeder. But the funny part was much improved now. Right?
Oh God,
Jesse took him under his I don't know, under his wings, the right word to say, but Jesse said he kind of taught him. Did Jesse say it? I feel like Kay told me that.
Well, the thing is, it isn't like Kay didn't have talent. He just didn't know enough about tattooing. You know what I mean? Like the guy could put things together. He just couldn't execute.
Yeah.
But when I won the show, I thanked him. And he was the first guy to hug me. If you watch when I win, Kay's the first guy that comes up and hugs me. Because we kind of, midway through the show, we kind of worked shit out. Like, he goes, man, I'm just trying to stay as long as I could. I said, man, all you had to do is give me a heads up, but you can't just come at me.
Right.
You're gonna get the.
Did you throw anything at him back?
I told him right to his face. After I won, because this fucker kept winning flash challenges, and he kept handing everybody shit. And then he put out a shitty tattoo, but for some reason, he cuts hair. Well, his name is K Cut. I'm like, God, Jesus, he wins again. So the one flash challenge that
was he not really tattooing full time? Like he was doing hair and tattoos or something?
Well, no, he learned how to cut hair in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a bid. So that's why they called him K Cutter, because he cut hair in jail. So the
Right on.
second, I think the first or second one, he won 2 in a row, the second and the third episode. The third episode, you had to cut hair. I'm like, fuck, he's gonna win again. And then by the fourth episode, I believe, he couldn't be a part of it because he was a felon and he couldn't be around guns. And that's when I carved the gun butt. And I won.
Right, yeah.
And I got back to the house and I told him, I'm coming right at you, bro. You started this shit. I'm talking to you like a man. I'm coming right at you. Like, you fucked up.
Did you feel you gave him the heads up that you would have appreciated yourself, you know?
Yeah, well, like me and Clint became friends. Me and Jesse became friends. It was like, listen, I'm gonna throw my boys good shit. Everybody else can fuck off. You know what I mean? Plus, my strategy I thought was better because these idiots kept going after the top guys. Right? I'm like, there's too many bad tattooers here. The top guys will never do a shitty tattoo bad enough to fall. If they fall to the bottom, there's 3 of them. The other 2 are terrible. You know what I mean?
Right. They're staying.
I go, the faster you get rid of the bottom guys, get rid of them as fast as you can. So by the 4th episode or 5th episode, you get rid of all the bottom people. Now anybody falls, top guys fall to the bottom. You're in the bottom.
You think that strategy worked for you?
Yeah, 100%.
You think it still works?
I think it absolutely works. Yeah, I think it absolutely would work.
Just always take an aim at the bottom because you don't want to make a target for yourself or what?
Well, you got to remember what I said. The top guys are never going to suck that much. You listen, you know, you went in the house, you automatically know, all right, these 5, 6 people are pretty good. You judge yourself like I'm top 5. Shit falls right, yeah.
Right.
Then you go, I'm fucking 10 times better than these guys. So the only way to get rid of the guys better than you is to get rid of all the fucking bottom feeders. Because otherwise than that, they got a cushion.
Right, because they're not going home.
Because they're not going home.
I follow.
You know, so I always said,
what about these report card things? And maybe that doesn't matter because they always end up throwing those things out anyways.
Well, I don't. Right? I mean, I think report card comes in when it's neck and neck. You know what I mean? Like if you got a guy's been at the bottom 6 times and a guy's been there once, this is his first time, and their tattoos are equally bad, you got to send home the guy that's been sucking.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, shit.
I believe.
I mean, you should, but I'm there watching Joshua Hibbard stay and Craig Foster go home, and he had done 4 bad. He had been down the bottom 4 times at that point.
Well, see, here's my philosophy too, and I'm going to say this straight up. I don't think the TV was involved as much in the first 2 or 3 seasons as it is now. You know, I tell people straight up. Sometimes, man, there's TV decisions you just don't get, and it's in the eye of the beholder. If they don't like something, they don't like it.
So when you came back for later episodes to judge and that you noticed a difference in the control or something?
Well, not really that, but it's definitely more produced. It's definitely more like, you know, people get the show now, so people are bringing more drama. People try to say to me, is it fake? I go, no. I go, you're fighting for $100,000 against people talking shit on you. Got to live with them. Trust me, it's not manufactured. It'll get you sooner or later. Somebody will, like Josh Payne. I love the guy now, but I literally almost got thrown off the show, season 10.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I tried to beat it. I told him right on camera, I said, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass right now.
He told me that you guys had some kind of an animosity at some point. I never heard any of the stories.
Well, listen.
But you guys have squashed it, huh?
Well, this is what happened. So I get in the house and I sit everybody down, like my team and everybody. I go, listen, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of strategy. You can believe me, you cannot believe it. You know what I mean? I said, play with respect. Only go after people for their tattoos. You know? Like insult their tattoos. You don't have to insult people, but you insult their tattoos. Because in the end, that's what you're there to do.
Yeah.
If a tattoo's shitty, I said, you don't have to be fake, but be whatever you are in 10. If you're funny, be funny. If you're an ass, then be a fucking ass. You know, whatever.
This sounds like the pep talk you gave me before my cast. You know,
yeah,
eerily
like,
similar.
Just fucking
like,
let it rock.
up. Yeah.
Because let's face it, if somebody quiet goes to the bottom, then somebody mouthy goes to the bottom, they have equally bad tattoos. quiet people going home. They just make shitty TV. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
So what happened was Josh was doing some shit in the house with somebody. And he's like, hey guys, I really appreciate it if you don't bring it up on camera. I go, Josh, unwritten rule, anything off camera, we don't talk about. We don't talk about your personal life. We don't talk about, I said, I don't know if you're married, you got a girlfriend at home. I don't know what's going on. We don't talk about that stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
you wait until you go on my show and put them on blast.
Right. So what happened was the first fucking episode, Nunez started this shit because the first episode, I'm a coach. And every time the judges are talking, Josh is just running his mouth. So I'm like, we're all shaking our heads like, who the fuck is this guy, right?
Yeah, had you met him before?
No.
Okay.
So Nunez looks at me because I'm sitting close to him. He goes, hey, Tefft. I'm like, what's up? He goes, you gonna fucking handle this shit? I go, gotcha. I go, hey, Josh. He goes, what? I go, why don't you shut the fuck up and listen to what the judges have to tell you? This is your first fucking day. You don't know what's going on. Why don't you let everybody fucking listen, man? Why don't you shut the fuck up? And it was game on since then. So long story short, so one night we were talking after out on the rooftop because people don't know it was filmed in New Jersey on a rooftop in this shitty building, and our free time was on a rooftop. So
overlooking somebody's driveway there.
Yeah,
just a nasty.
Oh, it's gross.
A fork truck or something that was down there.
Oh, yeah, it's like a tile store. I don't know what the.
Yeah,
but it was gross and dusty or whatever.
Wake up in the morning, you think you can't turn the alarm off, but it's really the fork lift downstairs. Beep, beep, beep.
And everybody, and you noticed everybody got a weird sickness. At least once went through the house every episode, every fucking season. I mean,
dude, yeah.
My season, everybody came down with some fucking.
Well, they probably never fixed that air conditioner properly.
Leaking
carbon dioxide and making the alarm go off.
Well, plus too, man, that building is how old? Probably got asbestos and every fucking thing else in it. I mean, let's face it. But so I was talking one night, and this kid Jeremy on my team was driving me fucking nuts. I love the guy to death, but he wasn't listening. I'm like, dude, I'm here for you. And every time, Oliver Peck, I'll tell you a quick story. Oliver Peck, on one of the critiques, says if I see fucking white and black and gray tattoos anymore, and he throws it across the room, he goes, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm like, okay. I want to see white and black and gray. Okay.
Can you put a white highlight in the eye or nothing?
As long, yes, but he don't like people overusing white.
Yeah.
Usually, the rule of thumb is shiny and wet. Metallic, shiny and wet. So next time with fucking tattooing. Now I got five people I'm looking after a floor at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in Jeremy's room and he's got a bottle of white out. I go, what the fuck is that? He goes, what? I go, did you not just listen to Oliver Peck? He goes, yeah, but he's never seen me do it. I'm like, bro, I said, I'll tell you what, Jeremy. If I leave this room and I check on everybody and I come back and I see fucking white in this tattoo, I'm going to flip your fucking station off. I said, I'm trying to keep you here and you're fucking with me and trying to go home. Like, what are you doing? The guy is super talented. So he didn't put it in there.
Nice. Okay.
So that night, I'm out there with drinking and, smoking, whatever. I'm like, I fucking can't wait for Jeremy to go home and his fucking dude's driving me nuts. Just venting. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to watch 5 people. They're all very slow tattoo artists, all very talented, but they're not built for the show. You know what I mean? You got to tattoo fast. These guys take their sweet ass time, but whatever. So next morning, next day, we're doing, house reality. And, me and Josh go back and forth a little bit. He goes, yeah, well, you told me last night you can't wait for Jeremy to go home. And I fucking looked at me. He started looking at my face. I got, okay. So off camera, he pulls me aside. He goes, hey, man, I'm super sorry, blah, blah, blah. I go, bro, did we not just talk about this fucking the other night? He's like, yeah. I go, okay. No harm, no foul. I said, but you're a man. He goes, yeah. I go, you only get one sorry. You're not my girl. You get one sorry on this. We cool? Cool. No problems. Everything's fine. Shit's going down. Me and him are digging into each other. Blah, blah, blah. Fucking literally. Not even a day or two goes by. Doing house reality. Fucking does it again. right during house reality.
What do you mean? He brings up another.
It brings up another off-camera thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I keep on thinking about a Saturday Night Live skit that the Dwayne The Rock Johnson was playing a wrestler on, and kept on really cutting into the. It's stupid. Never mind.
Right. So anyway,
right.
So he fucking breaks the code again.
Yes.
So right in the middle of house reality, I go, stand the fuck up. He's like, what? I go, I'm knocking you the fuck out right now. Exactly what I said. He's like, what? I go, stand the fuck up, dude. I'm not fucking around with you no more. I said, I've had enough. Stand the fuck up, and I mean right now. So now fucking what?
TJ Lavin says you got to go home if you're violent. Aren't you worried about that?
No, I told him, I said, I'm going to save you. I just saved you fucking $200,000. I go, send me. I go, you can kick me out, and you're going to kick him out because I'm going to beat his fucking ass right now. So,
well, they didn't save him any money. Who's it saving? You mean?
Well, I was just trying to make a point. Fuck him. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be disrespected by fucking anybody. So, Andrea runs down. Oh my God, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So, dude, I was so fucking heated.
Josh doesn't really like to fight so much. He's not a big fighter.
He doesn't at all, actually. But anyway, and I said, he goes, I've never been in a fight. I said, this should be fucking easy.
You're just picking on him now.
No, dude, you fucking broke the code. You called me out again. I'm like, all right. So anyway, I called him a cunt, and that was inappropriate with all the females around. And so they put me in the kitchen. I fucking hit the door. And
is that word special? Do you reserve it for special occasions?
What? Yeah, cunt. That's what I'm as heated as it gets. That's okay. When I call you a cunt as a man, I want you to swing. Now we're gonna swing. That's why I do it. Fuck you. It's game on. But anyway, so long story short, it's just So I don't have to go into all the gory details, but anyway, we end up. He apologizes weeks later. I told him to stay the fuck away from me for a few weeks. He apologized a week later. We run into each other at a couple
conventions.
Like Baltimore. Yeah.
And
he comes over like, hey man, you were right. I go, what? He goes, the backlash. I go, Josh, you didn't need to be such a loud asshole. You were easily one of the best guys in the house, if not the best. I go, and now you're acting the fuck up. I said, I told you when the cameras are down, you keep going this way, being the fucking bad guy, dude. I go, normal America doesn't know who the fuck you are. This is what they know. That you're a loudmouth dick.
I don't get a lot of people when I tell them I know him or that I love him. Nobody really is like,
they're like,
yeah,
really?
Unless they know him in tattooing world. Right. I mean, if people know him, then they're like, oh, fuck, Josh is awesome, man. I love that guy.
Right. But on that show, they made him look around real bad. And he goes, you were right, man. I'm like, why? He goes, I get hate mail. People fucking hate me. I go, bro, I kept trying to tell you. It's one thing if you suck and you're trying to get TV time. That's fine. But dude, you're the best.
If you're good.
You're one of the best guys in the fucking house. Like you're Definitely. Top 1, 2, or 3.
I hated
top 1 or 2.
I love him, and somehow I hate to see him succeed. I don't think that's real. I like to see him succeed, but I know what a pompous ass he's going to be when he does. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the thing is, I told him right to his face. I go, Josh, I love you now, but a little bit of you goes a long fucking way, bro.
It can.
Small taste.
You know what?
I can hang out
miss him. God, I miss him actually.
I've seen him. He comes to my show. We fucking crush. He's a great dude. It's just, just when he gets hyped.
The house bring anything special out in a relationship between anybody? Like if you guys went back, even though now you've patched up and stuff, do you think there could be the same heat going at you?
The different now is once you know the situation, let's face it, when strangers are talking shit to you, like, do you know me? I'm going to punch you right in your face. Like, I'm old school. I'm not going to take this shit. I don't give a fuck about this safe space and all this other shit. You just made your own space very unsafe. So, but anyway, so just going back to that, but yeah, me and Josh are friends and blah, blah, blah. So it just goes to show I'm actually friends with literally everybody that's been on the show that I've interacted with. Like you and I have never been on the same show, but
and anybody special you don't really care for?
Sarah Miller did me dirty a long time ago.
On the first on season 2 then.
After she came to guest spot at my shop and did me dirty a little bit. I don't like people personally, on TV, whatever, do what you got to do. But personally, we don't do certain shit. Otherwise than that, man, me and Jesse are dope. Me and Sarah, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're friendly.
Right.
Tattoo Baby, I haven't seen her in a while. She's crushing. She's crushing it.
She's got her own show or something right now. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Cartel Inc. And she's dating Steve Butcher.
Are you kidding me?
No, they're together.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's doing well.
Okay, right on. From New Zealand.
Yeah.
Is he living in the States then now?
I have no idea. No, I don't know.
One of the best. So her tattoos also gotten improved even. She was already amazing. But now she's dating Steve Butcher. She's privy to all those secrets. That guy is
stupid. The guy's stupid.
Yeah.
So going back to this, what I try to tell people going on that show, and you can easily tell them too. Listen, what you think that show is and what it really is, it's two different things. It's fucking hard. It is fucking really hard. For me, I'm not a big sleeper, so I can run on fumes.
Right.
But that show, they'll keep you up all night. They'll run you into the fucking ground every day. I mean, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they purposely try to put constraints on you that will affect. Yeah. I believe of course they know it will affect you. They don't want to have a million good tattoos out there. They want to see who breaks.
Well, let's face it. I mean, that's what America wants. You watch Survivor to watch people fuck up.
Right.
And the second thing I tell people is like, I want to go on that show and get tattooed. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? I go, you do realize the premise of the show is for me to give people shit they can't do. I'm trying to make people give shitty tattoos. That's what you want?
You want to be inside of that. So it is a funny thing. Now, did you notice that some of the canvases had more control over them? Like they want to be a star, model.
Well, I think in the first few seasons it wasn't bad, but then I think everybody now has seen so much of the show that even, and a lot of the canvases are repeats. Right. So, they kind of get it. So they're going to come in and talk shit. And I'll give you a great example. This Rolly T-Rex was on my team. Great tattoo artist. Great artist.
Yeah, cool guy.
Super dope dude, too. I love his wife and daughter. Great. I guess he's got a new kid, too. I guess he got two now. Anyway, so he had this, African-American woman come in and she wanted this tattoo a certain way. And he's like, Steve, man, she won't change her mind. I said, I got it. I walked in there. I said, listen, let me explain something to you. I said, this kid is a badass tattoo artist. I'm telling you right now, he's got a chance to maybe win the fucking show.
Which he did. He was in the finale, right?
He was in the top three. Yeah. I said, so this is what's going to happen. If he does this tattoo the way you want it done, I said, you're going to leave feeling good. And then you're going to go home and you're going to brag to all your friends. Hey, this is my episode coming up. This is my episode. And then you're going to watch 20 of us rip this tattoo apart and he's going home. And you're not going to feel so good about your tattoo anymore.
That's a good way to approach that.
I said, you're going to have a bad taste in your mouth. Or you can listen to him, watch him maybe even win this fucking thing. And we all talk about how good your tattoo is and you feel good. She goes, okay, yeah. I'm like, trust me. Trust me.
No, yeah, that's the perfect way to deal with it is approach them from how they're going to feel. This is about, you didn't say what he needs. You didn't say what you needed. You said what her experience, and you're not wrong. You're going to have that viewing party. You're going to have your whole family over and they're going to see you fucking get bitched out or
and watch everybody rip that tattoo apart. And then
that's
he goes
really
home.
Why when that guy brought me back on Redemption, that's why I chewed into him. I was like, he was looking for his hero shot.
Yeah.
And he just went about it such a wrong way that it was a bitch ass move that I wasn't going to let him walk away. Like if he's not calling his friends up for that, He's like, oh my God.
No. Yeah, no. So I think the first thing people need to realize is, yes, it's a TV show, but this is our lives. This is what we do. So you're not going to shit on me. You're not going to fuck me over. Like, I got to go back to real people, my friends and family and all this shit. So I'm not going to be someone I'm not on TV.
I got to have some respect when I go back out to tattoo.
Fucking integrity, bro. I'd rather go home in integrity. I have no problem with that. But so yeah, like you see all these other tattoo artists. Like it was funny because I remember like talking to Chris because me and him got pretty close. And
my nemesis,
yeah,
Nunez.
yeah, talking about how at first you guys are sellouts. How dare you do that TV show? And then by the fourth season, everybody's trying to get on it. Hey man, can you get me Judge as a judge? Can you get me on it? You know what I mean? And I honestly believe that show is great for every tattoo artist, even if you don't win, even if you do shitty tattoos.
Yes. Yeah. Even if you do shitty tattoos, you think.
Yeah. Because
I've known Mystical had a problem with it.
Mystical Mike?
I still think it was good
geez.
for him. I don't know if he's realized how good it was for him.
Well, first of all,
I think he's into it. Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew who the fuck we were. Let's be honest. No one knew who the fuck we were. All of a sudden, Kyle Dunbar is a household name. You remember this? We used to have to go to fucking convention after convention and travel and burn your balls off just to get a name out there. Then submit pictures to magazines and brag that you got one in.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, I got 4 million people just watched me.
Dude, you know who Darren McCarty is? Detroit Red Wing.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah.
I met him. He knew me.
Dude, right?
Big John McCarthy from he's with Bellator now.
Yeah,
he used to be the referee though. He knew me. He pointed me out, pulled me out. He's like, hey Kyle. I'm like, holy fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I try to tell everybody it's a godsend. Even if you go in there and have a miserable experience, when you're done with it and people are happy to meet you and take pictures and say hi, that's the payoff.
Yeah. That's why you can't really squander it. You know what I mean? I think you really should take a minute and, suck it up, finish your phone call, take a photo.
First of all,
do your song and dance. Mm-hmm.
Anybody who didn't get on that show and capitalize on it is a fucking idiot. Why would you put yourself through all that bullshit to not go out or travel and take photo ops and meet people? Like, what are you doing?
Some of that hatership, really, some people just get hated so much. Mystical was one of them. But that hate eventually kind of turns into a love too. Josh Hibbard was one of them. Although he's, kept his chin up and he marches on, he's just doing him. But
guess what? I see him at all tattoo conventions and he gets there for free and he's sponsored. So even if it works. It works. But so the way I look at it is this way. If you got a chance to get on the show, you fucking do it. You do it. Plus, too, and
most people that bitch about it too, somewhere you can find I've seen them on YouTube. For people that I knew were like kind of hating on getting on, and I saw their videos trying out to get on, and I'm like, "What are these motherfuckers?"
Yeah, well,
sour grapes in it. Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's like, oh God, I would never date a Victoria's Secrets model. You can say that because you're never gonna. Like, that's that dumb shit. You know what I mean? Oh, I would never date her. Dude, you can't. Don't even start shit like that.
I was eventually going to get there.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to segue to it now. You yourself, God bless, you date outside of your ability, dude. You have a magic of sorts. I ain't saying that you're the worst looking guy in the world. I'm just saying the girls that you date are in maxims. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
No. Well, Playboy, but well, the thing is this, bro. I've been fortunate. I've always dated very pretty women. Back in the day, I was young and long haired and pretty looking guy, and now I'm getting old and mean and blah blah blah.
Right, but that hasn't really changed?
No.
Am I wrong? Okay.
No, I mean,
now they've all been crazy that I've noticed too.
Actually, a few of them weren't, but the crazy ones have been really crazy. So they make up. Yeah. They make up for it. But like a lot of people don't know. The other ones, you
must drive them crazy.
Well, a lot of people don't know. I was married. I was with a girl for 20 years. Everybody met me after that. I was like pretty boring. I was a pretty boring guy then.
Really? Did you do black and gray death metal tattoos then too?
Always.
Okay.
I'm talking, dude. I was drawing Satan tattoos in like kindergarten and stuff, monsters and shit. So I've always done that. But
yeah.
But I mean,
Are you not having meetings with your parents where they're like, we need to go over Steven's pictures?
no, the schools always did. I got
Yeah,
sent I got sent to the school psychologist like 4 times.
Yeah, they didn't call the parents in questioning what's going on at home.
Oh, they didn't do that back then. They didn't give a shit.
Right on.
Dude, we brought guns to school back then, and nobody even thought nothing of it. You know, in the back of trucks and shit, we go, hunting or whatever.
Afterwards. Where'd you
yeah,
grow up? You grew up in Connecticut?
Rhode Island.
Okay, right on. Small little state.
The smallest.
It's a tight-knit community of sorts then too. Is there even any hunting? Where do you hunt in Rhode Island?
Tons of hunting.
What, in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tons of hunting. But we didn't think about shit. Like I remember when I first went to high school, there was a smoking period. They allowed you to smoke cigarettes.
Right,
I mean, we're talking, I'm 52 now, so it's going back a ways. We're talking, 80, yes. 84, 83, that kind of shit.
Were they advertising cigarettes inside of the school?
No, but I just thought that was funny. You could actually buy cigarettes at the school. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's crazy. But
I get pissed when I see a bunch of caffeine out there. I'm like, you got Mountain Dew and stuff for sale for these kids.
Well, that's the other thing I don't understand. Dude, they didn't have energy drinks when I was growing up. I didn't even drink coffee. I was just full of energy. Now these kids, they come in like, you chat with these younger kids, these cats, 20 years old, 21. Oh, man, I'm so tired today. They're wolfing down like a big Red Bull. I'm like, fucking tired from what? I used to I worked a construction job.
You think that caffeine is added up?
Well, I'm just saying, I used to work a construction job. Then we go drinking all night, go to bed at 2 a.m, wake up at 6 and do it all over again.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're a special type, though. You got a different, not everybody's wired like Steve.
No, but me and all my friends did it. We were all, I don't know, maybe shouldn't have put the food. I don't know. Everybody's tired. Everybody's tired.
Well, you're eating the same food. Are you eating different food?
I eat better than I ever have. Well, now I'm also
you go ahead and change your diet?
Oh, yeah. I'm also 52, bro. Like, I'm tired, man.
Tired of getting the doctor's finger in your butt. So you're going to eat some more roughage.
I'm good, bro. I'm always good with that.
Yeah, so, that's all right for you? Like,
yeah.
Hey, Doc.
So far, this good.
To it.
Hey, man, you want a free tattoo? Stick 2 in there, Playboy. But yeah, man, the world's changing, the industry's changed. Like we talked about a while ago. You either get on board or you're gonna, either you're on the train or you're gonna get run over by it. And that's it.
About these women that you still date, that you say that back in the day you were this handsome man and that helped you out. But no, this is something
handsome.
about your attitude.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you're still dating outside of your ability. Am I wrong? Maybe I'll have to have girls.
No. In my opinion, I am way above them.
Okay. Is it a mindset? I think it's a mindset, right?
I think it really it's a couple different things. My mother once told me a long time ago, what will draw women to you is also what will drive them crazy. And I believe that.
Okay.
Sometimes
so you develop something to make them crazy?
Well, no, just sometimes, it's kind of like, when someone say opposites attract and then you get married and realize, Jesus Christ, we got nothing in common. Like it doesn't work. So I think some things have to do with that. I think I give people a lot of chances. I'm like, hey, she's cool. Let's date. Let's become boyfriend, girlfriend. And then not realizing this, that I'm treating them as an equal, as you should, but they were way younger than me. So they were mentally where I was.
Right.
So that would cause problems. You know what I mean? Not understanding, like, what the fuck you doing that for? Well, she's like fucking 24. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of thing. But, my ex-wife was dope and had a good for a long time. But,
You're dating back now. You're back to dating now or not?
Yeah. I've been with a girl off and on for 5 years, actually.
Oh, you're dating somebody right now?
Off and on, yeah.
Right on. Depending on whether she's in the country or not, she's a Superman.
No, depending on whether she loves me today
Giselle.
or hates me tomorrow. Oh, God.
How hard is it to love Steve Tefft?
I think I'm so mellow now, dude. In my 20s, I was ruthless. Now I'm a pushover. I'm a pussy.
But
I'm a
is it
pussy.
still, how easy is it to love? Because maybe you were just even harder to love then, and you're still.
No,
difficult.
I'm telling you right now, I am so
Uh-huh.
generous and nice and considerate. I'm a pussy. I look at
believe
myself sometimes. I look at myself like, what the
Mhm.
fuck are you even doing that for? But I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I want an easy life. I want to come home and smile and, maybe smoke a joint, fucking chill out, play with my 3 Yorkies.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. I love
Yes.
the dogs. You got
Yes.
3 Yorkies though?
Satan has 3 Yorkies.
Barkers, ain't they?
They don't bark too bad. They're pretty well behaved. Yeah, they're great. I went from having no dogs to 3.
How many times have you been on Ink Master? I know it's the 2, but
Let's see. If you count 6,
holy shit, really?
well, you figure I did season 2, I did season 10, then I did Masters versus Masters that no one saw. Then I did like 2 redemptions and like not grudge match, but whatever that was when they called you back. Someone had a problem with you.
It was a redemption then, or
It wasn't an objection. They called it something else. It was something else. It was like a grudge. Remember when you had a problem with someone else on the show?
oh, okay.
I forgot what the
It
name of
wasn't
that
a
was.
it's like some kind of head-to-head challenge thing.
Yeah.
No, they stopped returning my calls at one point, and I guess I stopped paying attention.
Jeremy from my team called me and said, going back on. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
He had something against you or not? Or
Well,
it was a team up against other
kind
people.
of, yeah. I mean, he's the guy I spent the most time with trying to help. And then, so I finally said, fuck it, I'm going to let you fly your own. So the challenge you went home on was a freehand challenge, draw whatever you want. Now, the episode before, DJ did an Anya mask. Now, of course, DJ crushed it.
Right.
DJ is easily one of the best tattoo artists in the world. That fucking guy could do every style amazing. You know what I mean? Like, no bullshit. That kid is fucking amazing. But so I go, all right, Jeremy, what are you gonna draw, bro? He goes, I'm gonna draw Anya mask. I go, really?
Right.
I'm like, Jeremy, I said, DJ just drew it. I know. I said, can you do it better? He goes, yep. I go, all right, you're on your own. Then he blames me. Well, you let me draw an Anya mask. I go, you're a grown-ass man. I asked you, what do you want to draw? You said Anya mask. I said, can you beat DJ? You're like, yep. I said, okay. What am I going to do? Argue with you?
So that sets you guys up for the comeback against each other, head to head.
Yeah. So 6 times.
Yeah. Fucking
yeah. Somehow they just love what I got going on, I guess. I don't fucking know, man.
Well, you got something going on. You definitely very direct. You seem to know a lot. And I think, you know what I mean?
Well, I have stuff to say. I'd like to think it's mostly intelligent, but sometimes not. I'm just opinionated. I backed off of it a lot because some people just take that as you're being a dick, even though I don't try to be a dick. And then I've heard the tone, my tone, whatever.
Well, you heard how they edited it down with no apologies, right? As well, like they typecast you as a bit of a misogynist, and not without the humor.
Well, the funny part was, I made that joke because you could do that fucking 12 years ago.
It's getting tough for a misogynist these days.
Well, the funny part is I'm not misogynist because who would be? That's just an idiot. But I look at it this way: a misogynist doesn't treat women equal, and I'll pick on a woman as well. I will pick on a man. Funny, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. You're my equal. We're on a TV show. You're trying to beat me. I'm trying to beat you. Right. I'm gonna pick on you a little bit, like you pick on me. You know what I mean? Like they call me, you're too old. You can't do this. You know what I mean? Okay. Right. Well, you're a girl. I'm gonna beat you. But then I said, yo, these girls are so good. They could beat us all. And they could have. I mean, Sarah Miller was in a finale. And after that
she's
show,
phenomenal.
And she got incredible.
Holy shit.
Like her stuff is just fucking stupid. And I told her I beat her when I could beat her. Dead babies can't get to go up against her fucking super colored realism shit. My time was my time.
It's tougher now, for sure.
Oh,
they used to be pretty impressed with a couple of demon skulls.
Well, the big thing is
I'm waiting for him to come back.
Well, the big thing is, I was the only guy that really did that style. And that style was very, very popular at that time. And it's still popular, but now everything is illustrative and neo-trad. You know what I mean? And if you're not doing that shit, you're not going to last long.
Well, you watching, I know you are because you run the show. Like, we should talk about the show that you run too in the Mohegan Sun, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I fortunate enough to, I live in Connecticut. So the Mohegan Sun is an Indian casino, Mohegan Indians. That's literally like not even 15 minutes from my house. A great place. I always said it'd be a great place to throw a tattoo convention because there really isn't one in Rhode Island. There's one in Mass. The Boston convention.
I thought it was in Connecticut.
It is,
but it's.
But
okay.
I decided, man, there's no one putting on a good tattoo convention. Tommy's runs a small one. My partner, Tommy's Tattoo Supply, Tommy Ringwald, great guy. Love the guy to death.
Awesome.
He's little like family to me.
Whole family works it's a family-owned business. Family run, absolutely. Family staffed.
Yes, I like that type of people I like to do business with. So we come up with the idea, put it on. Had reached out to everybody I knew, called you. I remember calling everybody. You're always fucking busy or traveling somewhere, you fucking maniac.
Well, we're making room for it because I'm hoping at least I want to cross paths with Nunez. He was there, my nemesis, of course.
I don't know if it. Yep.
Not for any intent to do any harm to the kid, but to thank him, really.
Right.
I've rode this thing like till the wheels are falling off.
I tell everybody that horse died, and I'm still dragging it 10 feet. I'm riding that dead horse all the way.
Propping it up like Weekend at Bernie's.
You ain't lying, bro. So fortunately, the first year we put it on was 3 years ago. Great turnout, but a week later, COVID hit and they shut everything down. So we lucked out. Had a great turnout. Every artist I
lucked out because you didn't have down payments and all that. You didn't have all the advertisement set up for the next year and then get closed down, you mean, right?
No, we would have, if that hit a week earlier, we would have lost.
Okay,
60,
yeah.
We would have lost 60 grand.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, it turned out well. All the feedback was nothing but 10 stars. I try to run it. I tell it this way. I run it for the artists. Customers are going to come. People are going to come. I'm going to make sure all my artists are happy. They've loaded their pockets. They're having a good time.
How do you make a tattoo artist happy?
Easy. Fill their pockets, give them good food, and throw a hell of a party. And they will love you forever.
Yeah, that's...
I
would say that, you hit everyone, right? I'm trying to think if there's anything you're leaving. Oh.
I look at it this way. When you go to a tattoo convention, like, I would change that if I could. Or I would change this if I could.
Yeah.
Like, this was good, but So I tried to figure that out ahead of time. Like, we even made, we made custom trophies too. I hate those little plastic fucking $9 trophies. Like, dude, why do I want to win this shit? You know what I mean? I want to look.
It gives you a bit of prestige when you see something that's a bit different than a trophy from
especially
an
if
award
you're hungry,
shop or something. Huh?
You're like, dude, that's badass. I want that. Like the ones I just did, I handmade every single one.
What'd you make?
Oh,
that sounds awesome.
I gotta send you a picture. They're all skulls because it's called New England Tattoo Expo. So it's very like oceanic themed, like shipwreck style shit. So it was a skull with seashells on it and fucking rope and netting. And it was dope, dude. Like it took a while to make them. And everybody fucking loved them. They're like, these are dope. I'm like, because I want people to try to win, not like, hey, you got a $12 trophy with a sticker on it.
Well, now that takes a lot of time too, no? How so I mean that had to represent what, 20 hours? I'm trying to think of all the categories. Probably were you making them for second and third? Wow.
Yeah, I made all at the third.
Right on.
Yeah. So probably 40 hours.
But then my friend Nunez did show up.
Yes.
The important person. Paul Booth showed up too, actually. I shouldn't try and make it less important. Because if anybody does dead babies in a tattoo, good.
He invented it. Like, Well,
What about Ed Lee, right? Wasn't that his name?
Ed Lee had the Flash, but he wasn't doing Paul Booth.
No.
Paul Booth made evil black and gray. He's the guy. I remember going to the Philadelphia Eddie show, and it was 5 people deep just to stare at him. Never mind get tattooed. He was like 4 hours. He was like 4 years deep. So
have you been tattooed by him?
Yes, I recently got a tattoo by him. So just to have, it's kind of a surreal moment where the guy I grew up trying to emulate, trying to base my work after, obviously a little bit of my style,
right?
To have him at my show in my hotel room,
tattooing
me, partying with him, having drinks and smoke, and just talking. I mean, it was just like, honestly, it's one of the high points of my tattoo career.
I can see that. I had the opportunity to paint with him at an art fusion in Last Rites that a lot of people got invited to. I got invited to because I gave Tony Ramel, Tony.
Yes, Tony, yeah, my boy, yeah.
I gave him a joint one time, and he invited me, and I went out there, and man, it was the most awesome experience.
Right.
He back then he had a glove. Have you seen this glove? A handshake.
Yeah,
glove
with a tack. You put tacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 1,000 thumbtacks in it. You go to shake his hand.
He fucking sticks you.
Yeah.
Now you get
points of light.
Now you probably get hepatitis or some weird shit. Who the fuck knows? But then I got Joe Cap there, and
Capabianco.
Joe Capabianco, and
also from Best Ink. I mean, if we can give
Judge from Best Ink. I mean, this guy, he put pinups on the map. He invented the new style of pinup. I mean, and to have Nunez there, and then you have the newer artists like Evan Olin, who's a fucking monster.
He's out there on that coast too, right?
He's out of Rhode Island, dude.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, he's a beast. And just to have all the people that I look up to and really respect come to my show, obviously I invited you. You couldn't make it, Firearms. But I want to share with the people I care about the most.
Yeah, we plan on trying to make it this next time. I really do. I was really let down because I want to go out there, and we've done Tommy's show in the past, so it's a good show.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I really wanted that photo op just for the IG, I guess, right? Isn't that what the kids say?
Yeah, bro. Listen,
photo op for the IG.
If you ain't promoting, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like we said, we're dinosaurs. It's we gotta keep fighting.
Developing a social tick. Is that what it is from my phone? That's what I'm doing if I'm not promoting.
My biggest problem is I'm too busy living to take pictures, and then I look back going, God, I should have taken pictures. Shit, I really should have took some pictures.
There is something about that. After the show, more people take a picture of you, and so now you almost do you feel this too? Maybe I'm putting in your words in your mouth, but now I feel as though I take less photos because there's so many other people remembering the moment, but I have nothing in my Google box that I like so much,
Yeah, everybody's taking pictures. I'm like, oh shit, send that to me. I forgot to take them.
Yeah.
So I'm watching
everybody. You get that 25 megabyte version.
Right. And then I'm just tired at night. Like, I don't even like posting tonight. That kind of dumb shit. But
so you don't have an assistant for that, huh?
I used to. It's like, I'll have I got an apprentice. They're young women. They're great at it. So I'm going to have them start just take pictures of them tattooing and shit like that.
You were telling me you're not getting any. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I can tell actually, this is what I explained to myself too, actually. When I talk with my friends, I end up getting excited, and then I just want to ask you another question but I do want to ask you about your opinion on what's going on with tattooing. Now, you told me that you don't feel as many males are getting involved in tattooing right now.
Not that I see. Everybody that hits now, you think with the style I do, it'd be all men trying to hit me up.
Yeah.
Black and gray realism, creepy black and gray, dead shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's all females. My last 4 apprentices have been all female. All. And not because I'm taking females over men. There are no men. None. Right. No men's hitting me up like, yo, man, really love your work. I'd love to learn it because the first thing I say is come bring me a portfolio, blah, blah, blah.
Nobody shows up. No men are showing up.
No.
Do you feel it's important for you to apprentice other people, to give back, or is it kind of a necessity of business? How do you?
I think it's a necessity, and the reason why I think that is because I'm teaching them the old school way. I'm teaching them the history. I'm teaching them who the people that created these styles, to respect the needle. Yeah, you can buy them. No, I make them learn how to make them. Not that you'll ever make another one, but I want.
How do they put a diaphragm together for the cartridge?
Well, that's the thing. They just buy cartridges like we do. It's so
you
much
are
easier.
making them. Are they using their needles then? You mean they're making them by hand on a?
I only made them make a couple.
Right.
I only made them make a couple. I don't expect them to make fucking needles. They're too easy to buy now.
But you want to make sure they understand. If you know how to build it, then you know what you're looking for as well.
Well, I want them to respect. It wasn't as easy. We fought for this shit. We fought for the legitimacy of it. Like you said, like we talked about. No one
Philadelphia Eddie fought for the right to tattoo in New York. I mean, that's why he's pretty much Philadelphia Eddie, I think, because he could have easily been New York Eddie almost. But they wouldn't let him tattoo there, right?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, so the thing is, what's good is artists, these young kids are amazing artists. They're coming out of art school or whatever. They're fucking great. I mean, they're great. And now they can learn so easy that I think they don't get the respect for how hard it was to get where we are.
Right.
When you had to sit there for a whole day and make needles. A whole fucking day. Your day off, you made needles.
And then they started making them pre-made. And you were like, that's awesome. I started ordering them. And then I got tattooed by Tom Renshaw, and he made all his own needles. And I went right back to having to make my own fucking needles.
Right. And the worst part, we're so old school. I fought the battery pack for so long. I fought it.
Really?
I'm like, I'm not using rotaries. Fuck that. Nope, not doing it. And then, when you get
You're using one now though, huh?
Oh God, yeah. I got some killer old school coils. I got some custom coils by Aaron Kane. I have custom made left-handed skull machines. Used them once. It's just, like with you, if you travel, what do you need? A few batteries, 2 machines, just in case one shits the bed, and you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's become. I was thinking about it today. I actually broke down some of my gear and just put it in a backpack, and it didn't take up the whole backpack.
Yeah,
and I could open up and I could tattoo on it, and I had room for like a Bluetooth speaker. A change of shorts in case I was sweaty in the jeans,
Right.
In case I colored in the wrong side of the nautical star and I started to get swamp ass.
Right. You're like, uh-oh.
Oh, so shit, two blacks right next to each other.
You like tribal, don't you?
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I used to take 2 suitcases.
Yeah.
One for promotional shit and banners and a little bit of clothes. And the other one, 4 to 5 machines, bunch of different needles, tubes.
And of course, each machine would run a little different, and you might use it in a different, like this needle. I like to use it like this. Yeah. I like to use this machine with this.
Or that one machine just acting up for some reason that day. Yeah. You remember those? The temperamental. Oh, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Is it like the barometric pressure in Miami's just has to make this machine run like shit today?
Did you ever notice that? Back in the day, I used to love it. You go in there, you're like, machine's running great. I love tattooing today. Next day, like, this fucking thing is fighting me all day long.
My wife, I used to tune my machines all night long. My wife put a sticker on my power supply, and it wasn't just to cock block me. So she said, but it said, your wife loves you. So that every time I would tune my machine and I'd be playing with the, 10-turn potentiometer, I had the nice
right.
Then I would have to look at that and be like, I should probably be at home.
Well, nothing's funny when people ask me like, oh, so what, what voltage you run your fucking machine? I'm like, I don't know. I don't look at it.
Did you used to?
Nope. I would run it. I never did that because every machine ran different. So I would just run it till it felt right and it sounded right.
Yeah. Did you buy your machines and just that's the way they ran, or did you?
No, I buy my
set up.
I would buy my machines, but then I'd always do little tricks here or there to like make it run a little different. You know what I mean?
Silver contact screw.
Sometimes, yeah. Some same with like some the springs came with like the little silver contact point in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
like the silver better than sometimes they would try that bronze or that some
Yeah,
kind of copper that would get maligned.
I
But
mean,
then
gold is
I was shaving it down. I always thought that I mean, every hour it felt like I was trying to file. I mean, not really,
yeah.
but
I know what you're
filing
saying.
it down. And when really I didn't need to. Later I learned
No.
if I took a little Vaseline and put it on the end of that contact screw and ran it and then wiped the Vaseline off, it would burn the carbon off.
Yeah,
Tricks.
but and then you pull out a needle like this thing sucks. Then you put it away, and just so I'm just trying to teach the younger kids. I want to teach them the respect, like respect this machine, like know what it does. I know you can go to a rotary, but some rotaries don't run like coils.
No.
They don't have the
And,
they don't
well,
have the
they
feel
don't
of
have
coil. The feel.
any of
They
the
don't.
history.
No.
Really.
So, but like I said, go back to it. Why aren't men hitting me up? I don't know. Everybody I see new in tattooing is not young men. It's all women that I see. In fact, Gentle J, I think he's got 2 female apprentices.
Really. I'm gonna start looking at this now. I'm gonna see the trend developing. Where are the men going?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they're smoking weed.
Scarification.
Maybe they're smoking weed and playing fucking Halo or whatever the new game is. I don't know.
Hope it's Call of Duty.
Is
do
it
you
Call of
play?
Duty? I
I
know.
hope it is, man. It's a good game.
I don't fucking play video games.
No, Call of
Dude,
Duty is the one thing that makes me not vote Democrat because I love my guns too much. They're going to take my Call of Duty guns.
Well, my thing is this. I don't get enough shit done now. I remember when fucking, what is it, PlayStation first come out, and I played fucking Resident Evil. Dude. I was a zombie myself for like 2 months. All I wanted to do was play that game. I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was like your heroin, huh?
I'm like, I'm going to get nothing done. My poor wife, I'd get home from work, give her a kiss, get on the, stop fucking around with it.
Mm-hmm.
At 11, she's like, come to bed. I'm like, yeah, I'll be in the bed. Next, 4 o'clock in the morning. Get your ass to bed. I'm like, oh shit, it's 4 in the morning.
Now, were you tattooing then when you were married as well?
Yep. I had 2 jobs. Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What were you doing 2 jobs for?
I worked a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worked a full-time job, and then I got into tattooing.
Okay. Slow progression.
Because I didn't know if tattooing would support me at the time. It was new. You're talking 1990, 93, 94.
Were you with the wife when you finally made the switch over to tattooing full-time?
Yeah, what happened was I started getting sick a lot. And I was just getting sick, running myself down because I was working 40 hours a week. I was tattooing every Tuesday? Was it Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And I was also playing in a professional band playing out. So I practiced. So we practiced Monday and Wednesday, and I played out Saturday nights. So Sunday was my only day off.
You never saw your wife.
No, and I was getting sick a lot. So I just told her, I said, I have to make a decision. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm running myself on the ground.
Yeah.
So I took the leap of faith, went into tattooing full time, and realized, oh shit, there's a lot of money here.
You get a job right away?
Right away, yeah.
In Rhode Island too, or not?
Nope, Connecticut. That's why I'm in Connecticut. Yeah.
Did you move out of Rhode Island at the same time then?
Nope. I was married at the time, and I didn't move out. I didn't move to Connecticut until I got divorced. I think I was 38, something like that. 39.
Does the small town feel ever leave you? I mean, everything's kind of small town, I feel, in Rhode Island. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it is.
Everybody seems to know everybody.
Yeah, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
I'm told that most people that if they live in Rhode Island or have for several years, they remember that fire, the Great White Fire, I think it was. Or White Snake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was supposed to go that night.
Really?
And I remember the craziest thing. Me and my wife, we went to bed that night, and I flipped through the channels, and it was like, there was a fire in a nightclub. Didn't even pay attention. Went to bed. Next day, both our cell phones are going crazy. I'm like, what's going on? Like, you okay? Right. I'm like, why? What's up? And they told us she lost. You were gone. Yeah, she lost a few friends.
It seems like I heard that on the island that pretty much everybody knew somebody. It was.
Oh yeah, it was like I killed 100 people, something like that.
All right.
I mean, that's
I
the biggest.
tattooed a survivor that was from that. She lost one of her arms. You know, she got scarred up.
Yeah. One of my friends was on TV pulling people out. He was the ones at the front door trying to pull people out. So he's one of the guys they interviewed. But yeah,
That you still have that feeling in Connecticut as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a small town in Connecticut.
Like Sandy Hook was right by there. I guess that's what I'm kind of getting to.
Well, Sandy Hook's like an hour away or more.
Okay.
But my buddy, who was he was a state cop, Connecticut, went to the scene. He said it was probably one of the most brutal things he's ever seen.
How's that affect him? I mean, obviously, it's got to be pretty stressing.
He has kids, and he says, "Dude, you just see brains and shit everywhere. It's fucking disgusting." Yeah. So, yeah. But
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know.
Well, I think people.
I do know that we got a situation in our country where it seems like it's a powder keg, and there's a bunch of sparks everywhere. There's welders going around.
Well, I think there's so many factors going on. I honestly believe number one is mental illness, and like you and I touched on it maybe before. I've never had anxiety before in my life, never.
Mm-hmm. You're feeling it now, though, Colonel.
I had my first anxiety attack or panic attack about a year and a half ago. First one ever. And now, every once in a while, I'll feel some anxiety, which I never had before. So, is it because I'm getting older? They say that, but is it shit in the food that we're eating? I don't know. But I know one thing: the world is full of fucking stress right now. I don't know anybody who's like relaxed.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we've become prey to my interpretation is we've kind of become prey to greed from corporations that we don't really have control over, to where they're pumping us full of outrage and anger on a daily basis to help us buy their products.
Well, I think it's a lot of everything. You got news channels that aren't news anymore. It's opinion.
Entertainment. They're entertainment.
They give an opinion. Yeah. So it's like if you got one channel that hates Trump and one channel that loves Trump, why don't you just give me the news so I can decide for myself what's going on? Just say, here's the facts, you run with it. But no, they're giving your opinions.
Makes more money, right?
Well, I guess so. Listen, the only reason why they're doing it is for money.
Yeah. If I tune in to my news station and it tells me my viewpoint is right and everybody else is wrong,
right,
and there's an opposite channel saying the exact opposite, I still feel better because I'm like, yeah, I am right. But it doesn't help me when I go out tomorrow and I imagine this other guy's watching this other news channel. I'm like, he's full of shit. He's wrong. I know he's wrong.
The thing is, nobody's 100% right. Like we talked about, I mean, all of it should be common sense, but like, I'll go back to the mental health. And the reason why I brought that up is because, man, most people I know is on something. They're on either anti-anxiety, antidepressant, like everybody. When I was a kid, nobody was on shit. Nobody.
You taking anything for your anxiety attacks?
No, absolutely not. Okay. No, because to me, I don't have it severe enough. Right. That I'm more of a person of it's mental. If a yogi or one of those guys can slow the heart rate down, you know what I mean?
Then you can figure out how to deal with anxiety.
Then your mind can do it. You can do it. I'm not saying other people don't need medicine. I'm not saying that. But for me personally, I see what medicine does to people. Actually, I'm not going to call it medicine because medicine's a good word for it. These are fucking drugs.
Right.
What these drugs are doing to people.
Generally, all drugs are a crutch.
Right.
And you can become dependent on a crutch, but at that point, you've made yourself lame. So
to me, medicine is to help cure something. That's to me is medicine. I'm not using. That's why I want to use the terminology a little different. Drugs are, hey, I feel my dad died. I'm depressed. Oh, here's something for it. You're supposed to feel depressed. Your dad died.
Yeah.
Or I got a big test tomorrow. I'm freaking out. You're supposed to freak out. Like I think people are mistaking the right emotions for the right situation.
Right. Well,
And
we're being sold an idea, aren't we? I guess I'm just going to start preaching, but I should ask. I feel that we're being sold an idea that we shouldn't feel uncomfortable.
Anything.
We shouldn't
Right.
feel offended, or not even offended. We should definitely feel offended, but we shouldn't feel anything. Like we kind of are supposed to be numb all the time in happiness.
I think too, the word offensive or being offended is now watered down to anything. You know, like we talked about before. A comedian tells a joke. Oh, it offended me. It's a joke. He's not calling your mother names, not calling your kids names, it's not personal. Saying a joke.
Right.
He or she's making a joke. You know, like, so why would you be offended by a joke? It's a joke. You might not think it's funny, but why would you ever be offended by it? Who gives a
You're
shit?
saying then that people choose to be offended. You don't, and you are offended, sure, but you choose that offense.
I think the degree of offense too now. Like everything's offensive. It's like, okay, someone calls your girlfriend a whore, be offended and like freak out, right?
Okay.
Or says something personal like you, like your kid's an idiot or something really offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, you have reason to be offended. Someone cracks a joke and says, all little fat kids are blah, blah, blah. You're like, what? My kid's fat? Like, really? Really? You're offended over that. It's a joke. Joke's a joke. I find.
Well, what if he called your girl fat?
Okay, now it's personal. Now you can't.
Okay, but so you're saying that I follow. I think the joke is meant in a broad term, and you're making it about yourself.
Let's face it, most jokes.
But possibly that shoe fits.
Right, but most jokes are very stereotypical. You know what I mean? Like white people talk like this and can't dance. We laugh at it. It's not true. It's a lot true, but it's
your
not
dance
all
moves
true.
are
terrible.
You rocking okay,
or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you're choosing. Well, I don't know if they're choosing. They're being conditioned to be offended over everything.
One thing I see in offense is that when Twitter exists or different platforms exist and people have outrage and they see success at having outrage. So if I say, hey, this has offended me and I get 1 million likes, then guess what I'm going to look for tomorrow in my day-to-day? Hey, this also offended me. And now you're kind of going about life in a way, kind of different way.
Well, now you're going about it narcissistic. Now it's about feeding my own ego. If I get more likes doing this, to be offended, are you really offended?
Well,
I look at it like
genuinely, I believe that you can choose offense too, though. So they probably genuinely are offended, but they're also looking for moments to be offended. Many people are, so for instance, they know the comedian says things that they might be offended by. And then they turn into the comedian's and they feed his money. He can say angry things about him that they don't like, but he just made money off of their viewership. And then they go out and spread advertising for him, talking about how much they don't like.
But my point is, look at his job. Like, it's just like someone saying to me, oh, I'm offended you tattoo dead babies. Okay.
Right.
But you see my style. Like, and it isn't someone's dead baby. It's not a photograph. You know what I mean?
Have you had to do that before somebody's stillborn?
Actually, you know what? I did. Some guy asked me to do a portrait.
Oh my God!
I just remember that,
and it was a good idea. I just don't think it's.
And this was years ago, bro. This was 20 years ago.
Is this one of the learning lessons where you're like, you know what? I don't think I'll ever do that again.
And I sat him down in the room. I said, hey, man, do you really want to do this? I go, because you're going to watch this for the rest of your life. You're going to like this for the rest of your life. Because,
a stillborn child typically doesn't look happy, healthy.
Right.
It's not like a happy moment. You don't, if you share it with somebody, they're like, whoa, hey, man.
Yeah. Like you want to see that on your body. It's like when I said day babies, I do demon babies and that kind of stuff. I don't have to do I did zombie babies. I do zombie.
Well, in this case, you did do this.
In this case, I actually did.
You do a great portrait, so it looks like that. I mentioned. Did you change things? Airbrush a bit?
Nope. It was exactly the way he wanted it. So
where did it go? Don't tell me it went on his right hand.
No. It's just like 20 years ago. I think it was
Like his leg though, or something.
or something. I can't remember. But I'm just saying the world today is. See, I think it swung too far because back in my day when I was a kid, nobody was sensitive. No one gave a fuck. I had a bad day at school. Who cares? You know what I mean? Now everybody's too sensitive. You know, we brought up like you got brought up with sticks and stones break your bones. Names don't hurt you. Like when someone calls you or says to you, who gives a shit? But now people you don't even know across the world says something. People are flipping out. It's like, God, relax. Relax. Like live your life. You only go around once and no one makes it out alive. You're going to spend the rest of your life bitching, complaining, and you're in your 20s or your teens. That's when it's fun. Let them grow up and pay bills and fucking really stress the fuck out. Yeah, I just think, number one, I just think drugs are the number one problem in this country. Number one, hands down.
Too many people, and that's causing then mental illness too.
Mental illness.
Could I also say schism then? Like something
could be
a word I barely know except from anthrax, something that you probably do know about, right? Remember Caught in a Mosh?
Yeah.
It's a schism. And a word that like it's the opposite of holistic, right? Like if we keep on doing the wrong thing or just treating the symptom but not the cause, then we still end up with
well, I think the problem now is we're listening to the few and not the many. You know, if someone's offended, everybody rushes to their aid. It's like, all right, what are they offended about? Is it worth giving it attention? But now everybody gets attention. So, I think it's swung too far the other way. With safe spaces in college, in high school. Come on. I don't even know what those are. Like
there was a push against bullying at one point, and I think I remember going into a mall and really I was like, where the fuck am I? I had a really out of body experience when I see a sign and it has a picture of a guy in a football and he's got black stuff under his eyes, football uniform, pads on. And it says, just another dumb jock, great big letters, just another dumb jock. I'm like, that's a weird advertisement. I'm intrigued. So, and I love advertising.
But were you offended? You could have been.
I was interested and I read it. And yes, it was certainly it was there to cause offense. And it says, see how it feels at the bottom. And then I was like, well, see how it feels is like so it was an anti-bullying campaign kind of a thing. But I felt like, and I don't think this is like the problem, right? But I think there's an amount of this inside of the problem where we've given outlook to children that bullying is such a bad offense that you can bully or even take the matters into your own hands and do physical things to the bully. Like the bully now is the one that we ostracize and we treat bad, if you follow. And I'm not saying that's this wrong thing, but we've taken it to the opposite side now where you can go and shoot a bully. Not that I'm saying you can, but these guys that go into schools oftentimes think that they've been bullied. Yeah.
Well, Chris Rock said it best, in my opinion. If you ever watch Chris Rock,
I love him. Yeah.
And he almost said, in a way, some bullying isn't bad because it teaches you at an early age how to stand up for yourself. Life isn't going to be easy all the time, and you got to kind of figure some shit out. Now, when it goes too far, and now you're getting beat up every day, and like shit's getting crazy. All right, that's different. But and you watch his special because he has 2 daughters. He says, "Listen, the rest of the world doesn't care about your feelings. They're not going to stop and say, 'How are you?' They'll be like, kind of suck it up and keep moving on." Now, that's good and bad. I don't think it needs to be all that way, but it needs to be some that way. You know what I mean? Like everybody gets a trophy is ridiculous. You can't raise people like that. They talk about getting rid of F's because it makes kids feel bad. It's supposed to make you feel bad. You got to F. That's what makes you study more. Failure builds character. You learn more from failing. You learn more from failing than success.
Well, I don't know on a report card. If I looked at a report card full of F's, I wouldn't necessarily think that kid got his lesson learned.
Yeah, he does because he feels horrible. He probably gets grounded, or your dad beats his ass like my dad used to. Like, you're not dummy. Why are you not trying? So,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing when you tell me about your dad beating your ass, but the outlook of it.
but it was just more of like, you're fucking up in school. You're not stupid. This is like I had a learning problem. I was just goofing around, and he's like, he made my brother go to summer school because he failed a class that he didn't even need. It was an elective. He goes, I don't care. My father didn't even graduate high school. He grew up on a farm. He goes,
you wanted to have that work ethic driven into you then?
He goes, listen, you don't need to get A's, but you're not going to fail. Failing means you're lazy. He knew we weren't dumb, that we couldn't learn. We were smart kids. We just were lazy or goofing off.
So is there an effect that you think that could an impetus of change or anything?
I think some kids I think tough love needs to come back.
Not like the prison thing where we're taking kids to jail and letting prisoners.
Well, I don't know about a costume, but let some bad kids like that don't get the picture. Like, listen, where you want to end up? Because these guys don't give a fuck, that's for sure. But I think tough love, but the hardest part is this too, man. And divorce being at such a high rate, you don't even have families together anymore.
No.
You got single moms out there trying to take care of the kids. The dad's out there, doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Who's really watching the kids?
Well, my tablet.
Or Netflix or fucking, or internet
Disney
or TikTok.
Channel.
Whatever.
Does an amount of that, my belief is some of that actually happens. There is a Disney Channel effect of some sorts where people do want to feel or imagine that they should feel like it's a sweet 16 birthday party in many cases. And because they're not living up to their expectation, now they lash out in fashion or imagine that they are deserving of more.
Well, let's face it, Disney's always been there with Cinderella and all the look at Barbie. Barbie was supposedly offensive because tall, blonde, owned a car, owned a house, everybody loved her. Then you grow up to be like.
She didn't have a job.
But then you grow up and realize that shit doesn't exist.
Actually, Barbie had several jobs. Shouldn't we say that? Am I wrong in thinking Barbie?
I guess.
I would hope had several.
Well,
did they not have Dr. Barbie and?
Well, one of everything, but later on. But my point is, tough love needs to come back. These kids swearing at their parents. Never. If I had a kid, never.
Well, then you supporting capital punch? Not capital punch.
Absolutely.
But okay.
Yep. How do you think a kid learns? You ain't gonna beat them. Maybe punishment works. Some people, now, some kids you yell at, they get the picture. I never got the picture.
Then you're in divorce court, though. And
why?
One parent. Well, if
my wife will be on the same page. My wife will be on the same page.
Well, I don't mean you. I mean across society. If this is something to implement in a broader scale in some fashion, you're going to be involved. There's going to be court cases where one parent is saying he spanks, she spanks.
Okay, so maybe you don't need to spank, but you got to come to agreement. Like, all right, we got to punish. Take his tablet away. Take his TV away. Like, there's got to be negative outcomes for negative actions, and there isn't anymore.
There is an amount for sure. There's something that we see at soccer games where it really sends the wrong message. I shouldn't say soccer games, but this is an analogy. Kid scores in the wrong goal. Great job. Shot in the wrong fucking goal, but you made it.
Yeah, no.
And there's no consequence, and he doesn't take away any sense of pride. Or the idea maybe also applied that we encourage him, tell him he's such a natural at something. You're so good at this. Now he's scared to let us down. He doesn't even attempt to do the thing.
Right. Or he has this, I think we're breeding a bunch of narcissists. It's all about likes. How many people like me on Instagram? Now they want to be TikTok influencers, whatever. It's all narcissism at its best.
They do have a lot of studies showing negative impacts of social platforms for children. What do we do? Because we start, that's kind of a freedom of speech that we were talking about treading.
Okay, here's the problem. You're a kid. You're going to do what I tell you to do because I'm your father.
Right.
You're
But
gonna
are we
have
going to
every
do what you tell us to do because you're a politician or
well, once you're grown up, then you can make your own decision.
well, I mean, here in this case, we're trying to implement policy for families, right? So what do you
Well,
would
how
have
do
to take
the
tablets
biggest
from
thing is
everybody.
this. Well,
Mhm.
no, you'd have to, like I was growing up and during some video games, and my sister-in-law let her kids play video games 1 hour a night. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. No more of this.
But society would benefit if kids only did, I believe, if only had
100%.
1 hour. However, would we benefit telling society, hey, you are only allowed to let your kids play for 1 hour a night? There will be these kind of rolling blackouts or your Wi-Fi will shut off.
No, see, you can't do that because you're taking away people's freedom of choice.
Now, when we don't do that, though, then we allow some people
but
to
bro,
finish cooking the celery.
Bro, that's what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Listen, man, that's Darwinism. Certain people are never going to make it. Why? Mostly because of choices.
Would you then? I agree with repealing seatbelt laws just to help that. Is that stupid?
No, I know what you're saying. You're talking about, you're talking about,
Yeah, we keep putting people in a bubble of safety who maybe should have been driving slower. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody's acting up. I feel
how about that?
saying it.
What if you said to
we
somebody?
got a lot of
people.
people.
Somebody,
Mhm.
What if you said to somebody, I'm going to implement a 15 question questionnaire. If you pass it, you get the right to vote. If you don't, you don't. Right? You can't do it.
Yeah, I think that's against our constitution of some sorts, isn't it?
But the point is, you got people who just vote that know nothing about nothing, and that's fine. That's their right. So it's like anything else, people.
They did limit the right to vote in the early days, actually. So I don't know that it would be against our constitution unless it was changed. And I'm not saying it was good because it was only free landowning men that were allowed to vote at the time. So I'm not
okay, but I'm not going back 500 fucking years because you're talking about shit that doesn't matter now. So, but I'm saying as of today, the one good thing I tell everybody about Donald Trump being president, whether you loved him or hated him, everybody pays attention to politics now. Everybody. Not
they
always
did
a great
increase
thing,
quite a bit, yeah.
Because it stresses me the fuck out. But I said that's the one good thing. Now everybody pays attention.
To lose, I think, because everybody paid attention to it so much.
Well, I don't believe he lost, but I don't want to get into that conspiracy theory. No way. You can't tell me this guy got more votes than fucking Obama.
Well,
no
I mean,
way.
from
Not
the place
possible.
we're standing at today, maybe no. But there was a lot with mail-in ballots that made it easier for people who before may not have been able to reach the ballots or were oftentimes.
Well, I still think there was a lot of funny business with the ballots. I really do. But, regardless, it is what it is.
Yeah, they haven't been able to prove any of that in any courts.
Okay, here's the thing. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Say they found out, let's just say they found out that they did rig the election. What do you think that would do to this country? This place will go up in flames. Flames.
January 6th kind of thing would probably happen.
That January 6th thing was the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. But anyway.
Well, that's what would happen, though, right?
It'd be way worse.
Similar.
No, if you thought the BLM.
Way worse than, yeah.
You think the BLM riots were bad? You're talking 80 million fucking people. And how do you tell American people, by the way, your vote really doesn't count? People are going to lose it.
Well, we've been doing that of some set. I mean, with gerrymandering, right?
Yeah, but you got to remember, bro.
Pretty regular practice.
Yeah, but bro, you got to remember, you're literally telling people to their face, we fucking lied to you and stole it.
Dude, so you think that there was a cover up from both?
100%. 100%.
There are a lot of people who would like to expose that.
Okay. Anybody in their right mind that's sitting in government goes, if I ever expose this.
Well, Donald Trump isn't in his right mind then. He wanted to expose it, and he had a lot of allies.
Okay, you got to remember, though, to him, he won. But the actual government itself, they're like, this place will burn. You're going to tell 80 million people they got robbed? Bro, even if you had you'd have to overturn it literally then and there. You couldn't do it now. People would lose their shit. Why do you think they found alien spacecraft?
I was gonna say, I was like, UFOs.
Right. They come out and said there are now. They've been reverse engineering shit. They could say that shit in the fucking.
No, we've known that there is UFOs just from having the word, right? Because that was, and it's changed now, right? Isn't it a different word? It used to be UFO for unidentified flying object.
They've been saying they had something like 5 spaceships or something they've had, and they've been reverse engineering shit for a while. No one cares. Nobody gives a shit.
They, as in the government, says that.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware.
Yeah, you check it out. It's pretty fucking wild.
That we've actually got spaceships from aliens.
That's what they said.
Dude, they got ray guns. Oh my God, I want a ray gun.
So basically, what's this? Military Times. USOs pose real danger, says Pentagon, but aliens aren't to blame. Pentagon officials testified the first public hearing in more than 50 years.
What? Wait. What did they testify? That they do have a spaceship? I don't know if I'm following that. You know what? I'm gonna watch it on that. That's probably the reason, because we all know it'll come in due time. We're like, you know what? I'll catch it when I can binge it.
I was watching a couple. Guys. And I forgot I was watching. They were saying, these scientists saying, yeah, we've had a couple spacecraft. We've been reverse engineering. That's where the internet came from. That's where all the shit came from. But now I'm looking up.
The internet came from it.
Well, think about it. Where did it come from?
I thought it was a couple of guys that realized they could network computers together and share encrypted information.
Right. And where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? Like, seriously. In the last 10 years, look how much shit's gone weird. Like, shit's crazy.
You think so? It could all be alien technology.
I truly believe that.
What about ghosts?
What about ghosts?
What about ghost aliens? I'm just curious if you believe in spiritual phenomenon then like that too.
Well, if people are full of energy and you can't destroy energy,
neither created nor destroyed, only transformed.
So why would there be?
Amityville Horror. Now, what about ghost aliens?
Who knows?
I mean, right? It would have to be two by the same, if the two can possibly. So what about ghost aliens haunting Area 51?
Could be.
I'm with it. Let's write a movie.
Could be. But so it's like so basically, you brought up the shootings and shit. It's just nuts.
I think there is a animosity in the air, and there's mental health for sure, and we're allowing, I believe, ourselves to be pushed with greed. And I'm not the hugest Christian, but I do believe that the root of all evil stems from a greed.
Absolutely. Like, for me personally, I'm not a great vax guy. I don't trust it. I'm not that guy. But when the government tells me I have to have it, I'm like, wait a minute. Name one thing the government's ever done for you that's worked out in your benefit.
Polio vaccine.
Huh?
The polio vaccine, tuberculosis.
Those vaccines took forever. But second of all, they actually cured it, by the way. You do know that, right?
This doesn't cure it.
Polio.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Cured rubella. That's a vaccine.
They cured it by getting rid of it, though, too, right? Because they didn't cure, like, people that had polio still had polio after treatments. They couldn't cure.
Well, once you got it, I mean, that's a totally different situation.
Well, then they didn't.
Cancer.
Well, if they cure it before you get it, it's a cure.
Yes, it prevents you from getting it. So if you get the vaccine and you never had COVID before, it doesn't stop. It
doesn't really happen like that, though.
It doesn't stop.
And they seem to be implying that there's another variant on its way.
Yeah, just in time for the midterm elections. Isn't that crazy?
Would you think it's being pushed as a
100%?
So what would it do, though? How does it help which side and who is pushing it?
Well, number one, it comes down to this: scare people because they want. Now the president's talking about going back to masks for whatever fucking reason. So then, if you get that mail-in vote again, which they're trying to get rid of, only in special occasions.
Right.
So
I loved mail-in voting. It was awesome.
I thought it was stupid.
I loved it. I just did the thing. I mailed it. I'm good. All right.
Okay. How do you know it got there?
Oh, I wasn't worried about it. I get to the box there when I go into the place, and I always look at those people there, and I'm like, are they tearing up my fucking, my ballot?
You never know. That's my problem with this.
Yeah. Well, I would hope that the mail people would be cool enough to not fuck with it, because I feel like as long as it's sealed, there's no knowledge of how I voted. You follow me? So why would this person? And it would have to be on an individual basis.
No, how do you do this? You usually do this. If I don't know, you say you voted for Biden. Say I don't know. So I take yours, I refill it out and make sure it's for Biden.
Oh, switching, but I got mailed a ballot that coincides, right? Like they can't switch my ballot. They can't scribble out stuff.
They'll just take your ballot, throw it away, and make a new one. What are you talking about? There's thousands of these things.
The ballot isn't numbered, coded. It isn't. It's just a piece of paper.
Dude, how do they catch dead people voting? Come on. That happened with George Bush.
In some cases, in a lot of cases, people died after they cast the vote, or they put it through the mail, and people died after that. In a lot of cases.
No. In Florida, when George Bush got elected, something like 122% of the county voted. 122%. They're like, huh? That's not possible. They had people dead for 20 years voting. Because you got to remember, man, think about how much. Think how much.
And that was a mail-in drive in that 120%.
Some of it was. Some of people were just casting votes. Like, I'll tell you something funny.
Well, could it have been?
No, but let me tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you.
Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. Neither can my desire to vote.
Okay, that's
ghosts lining up. I'm sorry.
That's fantastic.
I'm sorry,
but like, I'll tell you something funny. I went and had to get my license renewed. They're like, they're like, what'd they say? Something about, no, I forgot what it was. Anyway, never mind. It wasn't that. But so the other thing is,
is about voting, about registering or something.
Well, here's the thing: is this a conflict of interest? Ready? So the Postal Service is a union, and the union backed Biden.
Yeah.
They handle all the votes. Would you think that's a conflict of interest?
I mean, it certainly could be, but there's people involved that really like their jobs and have a retirement, and that would be risking a lot. I'm not saying that this isn't a possibility, but they're risking a lot, and even to confer would become a conspiracy.
What are you talking about? How are you risking a lot if your boss is doing it, the head of him tells him to do it, the head of the union tells you to do it?
Well, you could go to jail.
But who's gonna turn you in if your boss is doing it? Why? You're hard to talk to, bro.
Well, I'm not wrong.
You're very hard to talk. You're more conspiracy theory than me, and you're not even following.
No, I mean, I just follow investigations, and they go through courts, and there's watchdog groups that are designed to catch this kind of fraud.
And who runs the watchdog groups? The government.
I guess if everybody had a conspiracy to know, but I know people that deliver mail, and they never told me anything. Coming down the chute.
You know 4 people. I'm talking about nationwide.
Right.
How about this? Well, how about this? I got one for you.
Is it as easy to have a conspiracy inside of a police organization then?
Anywhere, bro. Anywhere you're not going to rat on each other, you can make shit happen. So look at it this way.
So defund the police becomes much more important. I'm sorry.
You just go off on tangents that make zero sense. But anyway.
Well, I was trying to find cases.
I'm trying to tell you something that actually works.
Okay. What's that?
Hunter Biden's laptop, right?
I've heard a bunch about it. They just got some stuff off it or something. Right?
Okay. 50 FBI agents said it was Russian disinformation.
That the
FBI said it didn't
laptop
exist. Yes.
Okay.
And now they're like, but it does exist and there's shit on it. So now they're
What-
all going back. They're all going back to these FBI agents going, what were you talking about? So corruption goes anywhere, bro. Anywhere. So, and they already
It doesn't
said,
make me feel comfortable. I feel
bro,
as
it's
though
not great.
in a series of checks and balances, though, the only way to avoid that kind of corruption that you're imagining then is if you can't do it through investigations and watchdog groups that could also become corrupt, then is to have a dictatorship or a complete
No. Anything
autocracy.
run, or
Mhm.
you go in and show your ID, you get a receipt, and you cash your vote. That's it.
Right on.
That's it. And you get a little ticket. I voted, blah, 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 with a number on it. So that way you can go on a computer later and check out your number and say, boom, I voted this way. Then
And for
everybody can
people
check.
that don't have the ability to make it to the polls,
Who
what
don't
do
have
they
the
like?
ability?
Well, my
Who don't have the ability?
grandmother has a hard time getting there. She's in old folks home. You know,
Okay.
people in
so,
wheelchairs, people
how
that are
about
out of service members. Have a
right.
hard
Well,
time
service
voting.
members,
They're overseas.
service members have always had this. But that's
Mail-in
fine.
voting.
But how about this? So your grandmother cast
Do
a
you
ballot.
trust the service members mail-in voting?
I don't know who's handling them.
That's what
The
I mean,
mail.
we don't know. Yeah.
The mail. Yes, you do. The mail does. US
Okay.
mail.
Yeah. So no, we don't. Probably.
So listen, there's always room for cheating. I don't know how you fix 100% of it. I don't know how. You're talking 360 million people in America and 170 million are kids. So, 200 million people are going to vote and no one's going to fuck with it. I mean, you got the director of the FBI.
What- It was
Donald Trump
160, right?
Well,
How many people voted this year? Or
Last
this
year?
election?
Like 100.
It was like 70 and 80 or something.
Yeah.
150, 160.
So you don't have a problem when Donald Trump got elected. As soon as he got elected, the FBI director of the FBI said, we got to get him out of office. And then we spent $100 million. Is that what it was? On the Russian collusion case that never happened. And that's why they went after the Clintons' lawyers. The Clintons' lawyers he got arrested and was going in front of the courts.
I'm not familiar with who's the Clinton lawyer? Sussman, you mean?
Yeah. Is it Sussman?
Yeah. You got the 6-month probation charge.
6 month probation. Really, bro? We lie to Congress and shit. We go to jail forever.
Well, he lied to the FBI. He lied to the FBI, actually, right?
Oh shit.
Oh, they're taping us now. We already dropped too many fucking red flag words.
Huh?
We dropped too many red flag words, man. This conversation's
I don't care.
Something just happened. I heard the FBI click on.
Yeah, because really. Yeah,
sorry.
but I'm just saying, like, listen, man, like, I was not a Bush fan at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I just want my vote to count and whatever. But
Well, if you feel it didn't, I follow that you definitely make anybody mad. I didn't feel that I saw the proof that I would need to see, and I can't myself.
All right. It's
just
kind
put
of like
it on
this.
a large conspiracy that I'm not able to, see any part of.
Well, you also have to look at who's doing the investigation.
Okay.
The same people doing the investigation are the same people that literally said that the laptop was bullshit, doesn't exist.
Well, also people doing it though were Giuliani and was the lawyer that was helping Sidney Powell, right?
What are you not listening? Giuliani's one lawyer. He's not even in the government.
Well, he had a team of people that were doing these investigations.
Okay,
this is what we know.
Oh my God, dude. You're still not getting it.
Well, okay.
What are you not getting? If Jeffrey Epstein, if they could cover up him, everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Right?
Well, I mean, that's subject to a lot of people don't believe that,
99% of the people do not believe.
I think most people believe he tried to kill himself the night before or a couple of times because he was on suicide watch.
No, they put him on suicide watch to put him in that cell. Then all of a sudden, the guard got dismissed. They lost the tapes. Like it's all fucked up.
Yeah, it's
that guy had dirt on everybody.
It was Bill Barr's father taught Epstein? Did you know, like, a crazy,
No, that's
like
crazy.
Epstein's, Bill Barr's father wrote a science fiction novel that involved having underage sex with in a three-way. The hero had to have underage sex in a three-way with the queen of this thing that he ends up living with.
And let's put it this way.
Hmm?
So that Ghislaine, whatever her name is.
Ghislaine, okay, yeah.
Right? They had all the flight logs. They had everybody's name. They wouldn't release any of it. Why not? Why not?
Right. Well,
so who covered that up? Who covered that up?
I don't know that every time I fly a plane, and I know this is stupid, but I don't feel that it is. I feel like I'm always wanting a lot of proof, and that's probably my problem. But every time that plane flies does not necessarily, to me, mean that it has children being trafficked in it. You know, I mean, I don't know that isn't something that is going to be connected with the flights. But if this is a rich man operating in some weird world, I feel like he has to be around people that don't do that occasionally too, and would be put off by it.
Once again, what is fucking wrong with you? They know you. All these people that flew to Epstein's Island went for what reason?
Well, he was an imagined philanthropist.
Oh my god!
And
I'm going to ask you the same
donor.
fucking. Bro,
right?
How
so
do I have?
They could have
how do you
gone
live
there
in the
for
world?
sex for sure, but until there's a proof beyond a shadow of a doubt,
there is.
then I can understand why people would want their due process inside of a country that allows it.
They put the guy in jail for what reason? For sex trafficking. They arrested her for sex trafficking. Dude, your logic just doesn't make sense.
Well,
Epstein's Island. That's why they arrested him.
Everybody that he was ever in a photo with fucked kids then.
No. When you fly to his island, okay, so why don't you release the names and say...
Well, some of his flights didn't go to his island, though, as well.
I'm talking
some
about
of
the
his
ones
flights
that went...
connected from places to places.
Okay. Everybody from America flew to his island, which is in Florida.
Okay.
So, why don't they release those flight logs? Because
I'm going to say something that doesn't
make
much sense.
You've been doing that for the last hour.
I know. They're not going to release them because in a country that has due process, the appearance of guilt by being released on those tapes could screw up your ability to actually prosecute those people.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
You were there.
I mean, it's grounds for mistrial.
No, they don't. Just call you in for as a witness. You went to his island. Tell me what you saw. Right?
I don't know.
But the thing is, you have, from what I understand or what people are saying, you got people like from the fucking, royal family, tons of fucking people on both sides, Republicans, Democrats flying there, like very important people. Supposedly Bill Gates. Like, so wonder who paid to keep that fucking quiet.
Or kill him.
Or kill him.
Yeah, I don't say that he wasn't killed. A lot of circumstances.
I don't think he was killed.
But Bill Barr was in charge of finding, or was imagined. Wasn't there supposed to be a special prosecutor on that, or were we trusting the attorney general on that?
Who the fuck knows, bro? Listen, when shit runs that deep, who the fuck knows? Shit runs. You're talking the 1%ers that control the world.
Well, what's his name went out there too? One of Trump's lawyers, right?
Oh, probably.
What's his name? But I don't know. I didn't put him on. I followed his career. I can't think of his name right now. Maybe I'm wrong. He's also been a Clinton lawyer, if I'm not mistaken here. So I
wouldn't put any creepy thing. I wouldn't put creepy shit past men in general.
Well, he went there with his wife though, too.
Maybe they're into threesomes, bro. You don't know.
Old fucker.
What the fuck does that to do with anything?
Did they have insight back then? Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if it was before Viagra or after. I'd like to see the flight logs.
How about this?
After Viagra, I'm going to be there with no.
If everybody knew about that island, I'd be like, I ain't going to that island. Why? Well, there's shit going on down there. I want to be associated with it. Everybody
how long
fucking knew.
Did everybody know? I mean, I didn't know about it until it started making its way through the courts. right?
Yeah, but
and even then, it
what
was
I'm
covered
saying-
up for some of
But
them.
yeah, right. When the wire was covered up, exactly.
Well,
because
that
senators
Acosta
and-
guy,
Senators and
Florida.
congressmen and blah blah blah. But anyway,
imagine.
so anyway, that's enough of this conversation. But at the end of the, at the end of
You're
the
not
day,
wrong.
at the end of the day, I just think the world just needs to take a breath. Go back to old values where respect. Don't be offended by everything. Put in some hard work. Take care of your family. What else can you do?
I don't know that there's any. I mean, I have to agree with everything. I don't know what the implement to achieve those things is, and of course, no. But we're tattoo artists, right? We ain't gonna solve the world's problems.
No,
but we can agree on what they are, at least.
We can talk about what everybody else does, but until you put a 4-party system in, you're not going to change shit.
How do we do that? That's interesting.
They're not going to let you. They're not going to let you. You got the Tea Party,
right?
And then you got the Green Party, and even if they got all the votes, they'll be like, yeah, right. How would you know?
They usually don't attract good candidates because my opinion, because they don't get 15% more of the vote. Is that my opinion? Actually, that's someone.
Well, here's the thing. Didn't they say a while ago when Bernie Sanders ran against Hillary Clinton, he was going to beat Hillary Clinton, and then the head of the DNC came right out and said that she rigged the election so Bernie wouldn't win. Came right out and said.
Well, she tainted
so she got fired.
The jury pool a bit.
So she got fired. Now, right there and then tells you right there, because Bernie Sanders would have beat Donald Trump. 100%. I know so. He's a likable guy. I think he's a fucking total whack job, but he's a likable guy. People didn't vote a lot for Trump. They just hated Hillary, and they finally said, "Hey, let's give a businessman a chance." Because we always used to say, why don't we get a businessman in there? Let's see what he can.
I never said that.
I always have. This is a big business, and they run it the worst.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
If it were a business, it would have, unless you're talking about shareholders, then it would be a corporation.
What do you think we are?
A corporation, then, right?
We are. The United States is a business. Now, it takes an X amount of money that spends X amount of money, right? So you need a businessman to say, this is going to produce money. This is not going to produce money.
To me, a businessman sounds autocracies. It doesn't sound like a democracy at all.
Okay, you're still not listening. What are you not listening? We are the shareholders. We implement stuff. This guy's smart enough to go in and go, that's not working. We're bleeding money.
Who's the CEO?
All we have running this country is lawyers. They're all lawyers. Lawyers don't run businesses. They lie for you or they lie against you, depending on how.
Well, this business's means of change is by laws, right? The only modem that they have of affecting control over the production is with laws.
So let's put it this way. So Biden comes in and he shuts down our oil production, and now we're fucking gas prices are through the roof. So a businessman wouldn't do that. He's like, we're finally energy independent, and now the taxpayers, us, the shareholders, are like, hey, now gas is $2. I got a ton of more money to spend, and look at the economy boom. So yes, but when you have lawyers, they don't run businesses. Why? How are we fucking in the red? How are we constantly?
I do feel they do.
They do what? No, they
lawyers
don't.
do run businesses.
No, they absolutely do not. Okay. They have a business, and then they have their
which would make them
run the fucking
business. but okay.
So you take
their accountant runs the business.
Yes, they don't know how to run a business.
The CEO, does he really run the business, or does his accountant?
The CEO normally makes all the big business decisions. And a normal business, like the checks and balances of like, hey, this idea is going to work. This idea is not going to work. So you take someone who knows about trade, that's going to help. But you take people like,
that don't
know shit about shit, which seems to be half the cabinet that this guy's got going. They don't know shit about shit.
Did you feel more comfortable with Trump's cabinet choices?
Most of them.
Before he fired him, I mean.
Some of them.
He did fire most all of them, right?
Well, when you go in and you realize they're not doing their job, what do?
Fire them.
Fire
That's
them.
what a business owner.
That's what a
Makes
business
sense.
owner does.
All right. But if you keep making bad hiring choices, I'm going to start to look at the management and wonder why this
a lot of them,
KFC tastes bad.
A lot of them, you walk in, you're like, well, he's been here forever, just leave him. He's been here forever, leave him. Then you realize, fucking dude's doing nothing. It's kind of like you.
But the majority of your cabinet, you pick yourself. All of them, 100%.
Some I would say so. It depends. So yeah.
You pick 100% of your cabinet in administration.
I don't know, because you got to remember, I don't know everything about everything. Like, what would I know about foreign policy? I'd have to trust somebody. I don't know foreign policy. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the head of transportation. I don't fucking know. Like, he's been doing it for 20 years. He must know what he's doing. Then, like 6 months later, like, this fucking guy doesn't know a thing. So, it's kind of like you hiring a shop manager. Yeah, man, this guy's been doing it for other shops for forever. He gets to your shop, you're like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Listen, it's the worst job in the world. President of the United States is the worst job in the world.
Doesn't pay good.
50% of the country's going to hate you.
It seems, I mean, that is right now, and that is kind of the polls right now. Now, usually it didn't drop below that, right? I mean, it used to be higher than that usually.
Well, right now, Biden's at like almost less than 30% approval. It's the worst in history.
Yeah.
And I guess Kamala's even worse than that.
Okay.
Well, she doesn't do anything, but whatever. But anyway, this is way above our pay grade. We're tattoo artists.
Yeah, it was saving wrong solutions.
Well, listen, bro, I'm gonna let you go. I'm tired. Love talking to you, my friend. Can't wait to see you. When's your next convention? What's your next convention?
Well, my next one that I'm definitely doing with you, I hope to hear you say, is going to be Sturbridge. You're going to try and we're trying to really make a push for everybody to get back in Sturbridges.
Well, I know I'm doing Tommy's in October.
It's not at the same time. Is it at the same time?
I have no idea. I don't even know.
I might see you in Tommy's.
Because Tommy's my partner, so I got it.
Yeah. I mean? Oh, yeah. And he's awesome. And yeah.
He's great. I love that dude.
Tommy Supply. I can't really bump them enough. They're great. There's a lot of great supply companies.
Great supply, like Helios Craig, H2 Ocean, those guys, love them all.
Needle Jig.
Oh, party with him a ton of time.
Yeah,
guys are all
great people.
Great people.
And I can't talk enough about the show that Tommy puts on too.
No, he does a great fucking job, you know, it's still grassroots. And Joe still puts on the Sturbridge, right?
Yes, that's what I really want to see you there. Brother.
Yeah,
I may end up seeing you at Tommy's first. Either way, we're gonna hang out again. Chew the fat. We're gonna get in arguments. We're gonna really solve world's planets, world's problems. We discuss. Yeah, and you ain't anyway. Wrong. You're not wrong.
We discuss.
Love you, man.
Love you, bro. Tell your beautiful wife I said hello, and tell your son I said hello, and see you guys soon.
Look forward to it. Take care, brother.
Peace, bro. Be good.
Peace.